So as it turns out, there's actually nothing wrong with my 9577S. This is the machine with the Lacuna variant planar. It has the onboard local bus S3 video. Now, as it turns out, my variant of this board, I'm not sure if all of them do, is not Windows 95 compatible when you're using the onboard video, because there was no IBM specific driver ever written for Windows 95 that I can find anyway. They may have written an IBM specific driver, but it certainly doesn't exist anywhere that I can find now. Now, the interesting thing is that there is a Windows 3.1 specific, IBM specific driver, and that works perfectly. So there's absolutely no image corruption, there's no locking up whatsoever when you're using the specific IBM driver. And I thought maybe it's just a Windows 95 thing, but as an experiment, I went and put the generic S3 driver on for Windows 3.1, and I actually got image corruption in Windows 3.1 using the generic S3 driver. So you can't even use that on this machine. It requires the specific IBM modified driver. It must do something to the timing, because what I have established is that there's some kind of bus timing issues going on when you're using the generic driver in Windows 95, and it's possibly doing similar in Windows 3.1. In Windows 95, I'm actually getting main memory corruption, so it's like the two things are trying to access, there's two things trying to access the bus at the same time, and it's just causing havoc. So I just can't run Windows 95 on this machine unless I put the XGA2 card in there. I don't really care. I have kind of become a fan of OS2 Warp 3 now. It is a fabulous operating system, and I still have the option of using vanilla DOS mode for my DOS games and whatnot. But OS2 now has all of my networking support, which is the main thing I was really using 3.1 for anyway, just to have a GUI to do my file transfers and what for getting games on and off the machine, because I don't like removable media. I like to set the machine up and then basically get everything on and off them using a network interface. And that's what I've got now. So OS2 has pretty much filled that gap for me now. I don't even need to use Windows. I'm using Warp 3 Connect, and that does have Windows 3.1 in it included. All of this stuff you can download for free. There's no need to look hard. Just search for it and it's out there, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's all there. The other thing is, being an IBM Warp 3, or PS2 I should say, being a PS2, it's really well supported with Warp 3. I wouldn't go to Warp 4. That was kind of made after the PS2 was finished, so I think driver support might be a bit flaky with that. As you can see, I've got sound working in this machine, and this is the reproduction chip chat card. So I still have access to Windows 3.1 if I needed to go and do anything in that. It's all there. I've got my file manager. I don't really like the way files are managed in OS2, so I kind of prefer using this, but that's pretty much all I'm using in Windows now. It does my FTP transfer using a GUI. I'm not going to log into this now, but yeah, it's point and click, select your files, transfer them, done. Well, choose where you want them to go. and I've got PK zip installed on this machine as well. So yeah, it's all pretty easy. And I still have my full range of command prompts. I've got the OS2 version and I've got the DOS version should I need to run any DOS command stuff. TCP IP was quite interesting to set up. That's not where you do it, but you do that when you install the operating system. It doesn't appear that there's any DHCP functionality in this old operating system. You have to put everything in manually, which is kind of a blast from the past, but once you've done that, it all works. And it does have a genuine IBM, well, yeah, a genuine IBM network card in there. So that's all supported. I'm not going to change anything here. Multimedia device support, it says none because it's an extra driver that you need to add to the machine. I'm not going to play with that, so I'm just going to cancel out of this. But as you can see, the primary VGA adapter is the S3 one, which is the onboard S3 adapter for this machine. It's the 928. But yeah, it's quite a dry operating system that is very business orientated, and it's very, very IBM. I highly recommend it. It's not like you're going to be playing many games in this thing, but as far as getting this machine on the network is concerned, getting your files transferred over for DOS mode, it's absolutely brilliant. I highly recommend it, especially if you've got an IBM machine with well-supported hardware in OS2. It is now my operating system of choice on my IBM machines. I've even installed it on my PS1. So my next thing is I'm going to set up a whole bunch of desks in here and have all of my machines set up. And I'm going to set up a coaxial network. And I do have a bridge device to get that onto the Ethernet. So the regular twisted pair, as they called it, Ethernet in those days. So that's not going to be an issue. But yeah, the moral of this story is there is nothing wrong with this machine. That local bus video, particularly on my version motherboard, I do not know if they fixed it on later versions of this motherboard, but particularly on this version, it is unstable as hell unless you use the genuine IBM driver. It's possible that there's people out there running Windows 95 stably using the generic S3 driver, but unfortunately, I'm not one of them. I cannot run Windows 95 on this machine unless I put the XGA2 card in there. And I don't really want to do that because the local bus card performs way better for DOS gaming. And that's pretty much what it's mainly about. Once I've got my files onto this thing off the network, I then just restart in DOS mode anyway, which is like this. Now, it's as easy as that. I've added that shortcut myself, or shadow as they call it. That's all I have to do. One click, one yes, enter, and the thing's rebooting now in real DOS mode. And you saw how to get back into OS2 mode. It's easy. Very easy. And with the chip chat card now, I've got much better compatibility and stereo sound with my DOS games as well. Dome in particular still isn't compatible with the DOS 4GW 32-bit extender, but if you load or modify it to use that DOS 32 extender, it works fine. And of course, Fast Doom, that works fine as well. So you don't even need to run the legacy applications for Doom anyway. Fast Doom does it fine. So this is Fast Doom here. I've got it set up going to my external MIDI synth there. I don't have a mouse driver installed at the moment because I haven't actually played this yet, but and this is what you can expect on a real PS2 when you've got the chip chat sound card. it just works. So this machine's currently fit with the Pentium overdrive processor. I've put a Evergreen 586-133 in my other PS2, so I'll have the choice of using either. I think the 133 is actually better for playing these kinds of games with integer math anyway. Pentium overdrive is better for floating point math, and there's not really any suitable games that are going to take advantage of that other than Quake, and that runs like turd on a 486 class machine anyway. You're only getting like 14 to 16 frames a second, so it's not ideal for Quake. I've got better machines for Quake. But anyway, that's the end of the video. There's nothing wrong with my machine. It's just a variant with the local bus video that has a timing issue on the bus, and IBM knew about it. They knew about it, and they made a special driver for it. Maybe they all have the issue, I don't know. If you've got one that works with a generic S3 driver in Windows 95, I'd be interested to know what the part number of your planar is, and maybe what the version of the BIOS is. I've just gone ahead and put the latest on here and it didn't make any difference, so I don't believe it's that.